folks, welcome back for another episode of our journey. And we are hopping into the action with Bananaschwob-Friends, who is running a singleton deck of some kind. And he has two of the three unique... Oh no, sorry, four. He has all of them somehow. On turn 3, he already has every singleton, uniquely singleton card in the deck with Siege and Morokai and Set's Masterwork already in play. So, off to a good start. Gets rid of the Disciple of Akatosh. I believe that's her name. The one that snowballs like crazy if you ignore her. You do not want to leave Kitty alone. The aspiring assassin meets her demise at the hands of the fiery pyromancer. And I would say things are looking pretty good for Banana. Looking pretty good indeed. Tyler 1066. Tied with, in terms of the cards in hand,
for the Emperor.
Definitely behind on board. But another Penitence means that the Breton Conjurer will not get a resummon, even if he were to draw a ward, which as a singleton deck, I figure, I mean, those cards are probably hard to come by. You probably have one ward in the deck and one ward crafter, and that's pretty much it. Alrighty. Penitence gets the Cold Shoulder from Icy Shambles, which I've looked at this card like 75 times, and I still can't figure out what the crap it is. Like, I guess those are arms and legs, but I mean, it's just a weird looking amalgam, like conglomeration of bones and what have yous. Alright, seldom played, at least recently, as far as I know. What is that called again? Spellsword Summoning. I would say it's a bit of a high roll for that because Brutal Ashlander is... his RNG potential is pretty intense. Eat Lightning Bolt, he says. Eat Pyromancer. Eat Shambles. Alright, not the best case. Best case probably would have been for Shambles to get hit. His life total's getting kind of low. Although Tyler running low on cards and probably not a control.
Lead me into
I'd say that's actually pretty obvious. Banana is sitting on Morokai. We might see him come down this turn. He may wait for another rune break, but it really doesn't have another great option. Being able to play a Sothasil, let's see, is it still 12? Exalt 3, no, turn 11. Turn 11 Sothasil will be pretty nifty. And that's following on the heels of a Siege.
Walk with our Lord.
Dark Seducer with her orb of amethyst power and her negligible skirt. I guess you can call that a skirt, but when half of it's fringe, like, what are we doing here?
Behold, my magnificent monster.
Let's see it. Oh, no, okay. He's going to hold off. I'm guessing we'll see Siege come down this turn.
It would appear that
now we know, of course, because of the colors that he's running, this is not going to... He has no Mushroom Tower, so he can't go bonkers with it, as we saw Aros do. Nice, got an Ash Berserker in there. Quick to draw. Let's see. Earthbone. Guessing is going to... I'm thinking the...
Keep your distance.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, the vampire guy. Sword of Inferno? Will that take out? That might be just enough. Yep. That'll be enough for him to take out the Dark Seducer. But he chooses a different path. That's a great card there. Force of Destruction. Again, we saw how dastardly that can be. Okay, not the best outcome. And Shadowmare to the rescue to finish off the booster. So Tyler 1066 sitting on a lot of health, an empty board. Might just give the GG here. Excuse me. Oh no! I smell the stench of an ugly support. And who knows, that could tip the whole game. I think it was Banana's game that we saw last time where he just got completely hosed by Mundus. Or was that me? Probably everybody gets hosed by Mundus. That's just the thing. And does he have enough to finish it off next turn? He may very well. 8, 10, 15, 21, 24. Does not. Ooh, that's a heck of a top deck. At least it didn't get charge, but that's probably going to put Banana. Oh no, he can unleash TESL. Unfortunately, that gate is a problem. That's a big bummer because Sotha won't. He'll trigger, but he won't be able to deploy the other guy. That's an unfortunate side effect of the Forces of Destruction. You get stuck with a stupid gate that you don't want, and he really can't squish it. Okay, that's a smart move. He's going to put it in there, replace the 3-2, and that way it'll trigger in that right lane. That's good play. And holy cow. Yeah. Now, we know Tyler's going to drain for at least 8. Woo-wee. Boy, if he didn't, Mundus didn't give him that lethal, that would be GG. Oh my gosh. Yep. Is that enough though? He's got 16 and 11. That's 27. Now he's gonna have to do a little bit more to survive here. Might see Soul Burst come down. Just in order to keep his draw engine alive, it might be a good play since he will have lethal next turn. You can get him down to. Let's see. Can I get him down? I don't want to get him down to 25. You can get him down to... All right. Chooses instead to go with the ward. So it keeps him alive without using Soul Burst, which he may use as a last-ditch effort if things go awry.
I will fight for my hold.
Has skill. Only in a singleton deck, I would say. Streamer, I think it was... Maybe it was Matt Oblivion. I don't want to slander anybody, but there was somebody... Can't remember who it was. They love playing Haskell. I hate Haskell. I mean, not with any true animosity or loathing. I just don't think he's particularly fun. But it's good to see him getting played in something like this. Okay, so I don't think the. I think he's hoping to roll charge. Does not. You can't bank on Mundus. And this should be it. The gate goes up to 6. Just need to do 5 more damage. Oh no! Oh, this is a javelin. Okay. And it's not warded, so that's good.
It has been my honor.
Good game, Banana. Good game. Rawr. Hopping right into a Kfluffy game. Looks like we're on the tail end of it here, even though it is on turn 7, but he is up against what seems to be Invade, which means you can never rule out their nefarious shenanigans. Especially with 6, 7 cards to work with. Invasion Party. Could be the play, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Kfluffy has 10... 15, 18. He has exact lethal on the board. And now, not so much. Unstoppable Rage not online until next turn. Well, not this coming turn, the turn after that, you see, is the numbers. The numbers need to be big enough. So, Babin... Okay. Baba. Probably not rolling what he wanted there. I'm sure he was looking for guard and ward. Don't know that there's a lot to be gained from Skaven. So might just see a temple conjurer in the field lane? Oh, look at that! And Kfluffy just saw that at rank number 4. Fantastic. Okay, he is going to go. I was wondering if he was going to try to target the gate. Baba now has 4 cards, which, I mean, that's on a ton. Oh, he has 5 now. He has 1 more than what I said a minute ago. Because
Chimeric spirit of the sky, guide us.
That's not the worst case scenario. He still has a way to clear the gate right on this turn. All right, never mind. Oh boy. All right, so Baba correctly surmising that his deck is a poop stain without that gate. He's going to try to do everything he can to keep it alive. Luckily, with the Crusaders' Assault and a nice hefty lane on that side, it would take a bunch of guarded, warded demon spawns from the depths of oblivion. Okay, luckily that doesn't get keywords. Although 3-4 is still a pain in the butt. Unstoppable Rage would have been guard and ward. Okay, so yeah, he's getting all the stuffs. We may see Myriad may be a pivotal card at this juncture, but probably see a Crusaders Assault on either the Pyro or the Temple Conjurer. 6 of one, half dozen of another. In my estimation, maybe there's some strat that... Oh no! He does it on the Pyromancer. Discerning Thief. These are not razzle-dazzle cards, but they're not the worst. Obviously, Discerning Thief's problem is she has to go face, and he's trying to avoid that at the present time. Really needs to mitigate the amount of cards that Baba can play. With 10 Magicka, though, cycling. Come on, Kfluffy, close this out, buddy. That's not good. That's a nasty synergy that she has. She gets keywords from the gate, and every time she gets keywords, the gate gets more keywords. So right now, pretty much everything he plays is going to be ridiculously broken. I mean, that every little bit helps, but boy, that's... Myriad is a little too far to help right now. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Prophecy's balancing out. Balancing the scales. Saying, I'm sorry, Demon Spawn, but no more. And that really could be what saves the game. He's not challenging the swollen abdomen woman spider hybrid lurking in the field lane. Obviously, she's shackled right now, so there's not much that can be done. With Regenerate, yeah, if you don't have anything big enough to do anything to her, then there's not much of a point.
Prepare to die.
Ooh. Oh, maybe Kfluffy is planning on Miracking the 7-5. invasion party.
Speak.
It's ridiculous. And the Oreo only getting 1 keyword.
You're not as powerful as you believe.
Ooh, big Marak. Yoink. Come here, spider abdomen. And it's going to hold off on that rune break. Baba managing to keep a decent amount of cards in hand, just enough to really be able to continue to do the invade Yippee dance. It looks like he's going to make his final push here. All the cards on the table, and of course that's a big one. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, charge, drain. Oh my gosh.
Prepare to die.
Just letting this one stand.
Prepare to die.
Just again showing just how ridiculous this mechanic is. And I'm sorry, Baba, but you are contributing to the toxicity of this game. Once again, showing my ability to choose the exact wrong time to play, I am forced to take to the battlefield, as the few players who are still here are not currently engaged. So we're trying the Ping Me deck, which is the self-harm. I figure why not. We are up against Glassjaw Joe, who is running Support Monk. We are also running supports, although ours, I think, are a little more sporty, but, you know, what are you going to do?
Speak, citizen.
Well, all right then. If you insist, oh wait, I don't have a 3-drop, or a 2-drop, or a 1-drop. I do have them in the deck. I do have them in the deck.
Over here, this way. Eta Oreo.
All of the supports.
Easy as hunting a
All
red
right,
skeever in the
so
snow. Sovngarde awaits you.
in theory, he survives and can attack the next turn. Please. They're eyeballing my support. Wonder if they are hypocritically running. Oh, it has to be on my turn. That's right. Now, well.
Prepare yourself.
Now, how about you prepare yourself? All right, so that means. Ah, boy. That means.
Sovngarde awaits you.
Oh, she's going to get past you, buddy. I hate to say it, but she is going to bust right on through you. But that's all right because... Oh, giggles. You found yourself on a deck not worthy of you. The douche.
We must protect our stronghold.
I do love you. You have done my heart good, even though we're definitely going to get railroaded this game. I am grateful that you came down to blast away that abominable piece of garbage.
Size alone.
Of course! Of course! Why wouldn't they have that particular card? Oh my gosh. Oh, this deck is so just absolutely tiresome. I'm not really sure what we're going to do here, folks. I kind of want to just play Lyris, but that's not the smart
The
play.
forest will not suffer your presence.
Because Lyris is good. Well, I mean, I could still use her. If we survive this, we can use her to knock him down. That's 18 points of damage, essentially.
Watch this. Feel the power of the moon.
I mean, our only saving grace is they're running low on cards, but that's... no. Let's see here. So Blast Bones. If I play that, that's the only one I could play. It takes care of this.
I fight with the fervor of the wild hunt. To oblivion with you.
Cradle Crutch can come down next turn over here. Hopefully.
Watch this.
Oh, I'm watching, Giggles. I'm watching. Ooh, boy. So they're going to hit me for 2, which is another 4. So yeah, Giggles got to die. But I don't think it's going to be... With that thing still in hand,
Be silent.
that's a problem. You know what we need? Shoot. Can we do... We can't do Blast Bones and Ebonheart. We need... We need Ebonheart on the board, but we just can't get her there. They're going to be able to do... Yeah. If they can do any damage this turn. Or put anything on the board, really. Okay, okay. We might...
The 9 inspire us.
Yeah. Let's see. They can do 2 now. And I guess they have, what is it? The
Malabu will make them pay.
and of course, it's got the answer they need. Yup. Well, that's just not going to be good. Let's see. Is there anything we can do at all? Because if this goes off, we're done. Well, I guess we can Piercing Javelin that, but then we can't do anything with this. We can Rift Thane, I guess. Alright. We'll try to make him work for it. I mean, if that ring of Nymeria is really bad news, but I mean, all it takes is a... Oh boy.
Over here. This way.
Okay. So we're doing Lyris
Don't count me out yet.
and Child Versine.
Ready to move out.
Oh, never mind. We're just dead.
I bow
All right.
to your victory.
Queuing into another game because we are gluttons for punishment. And that's really the only word that can be said for it. I had actually told C-City the other day, it was 2 days ago, I think, because there's a game in here that you'll see. And I was like, I'm done playing. I'm just done playing. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the music and the cars and the mechanics and everything. And I enjoy other people watching them. My enjoyment of playing is greatly diminished.
Hello there. Luck to your house.
It's been on the steady decline. And I've even played some decks that are, in theory, pretty darn good. And cannot seem to get any traction. Now, I'm not saying this game, or this deck is particularly good. But even when I have played...
My scales move in shadow.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and...
Let's heat things up.
See what we can do.
I will cut your purse and your throat.
I will take that all day. Let's save him for another time. I think this is probably going to get hit by a snake. Live defender. Doesn't help. I've been fighting this congestion for like 4 days now. It's like congestion / fatigue. Hey! Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we're not gonna mess with it there. I know you may say, hey, why are you playing in the field lane? You know he's got a snake. Well, if we can get rid of all the snakes, then maybe he'll play something else. Looks like a javelin target to me. I probably should have played the other one because I'm sure he knows that one's a javelin because I didn't play it against his 1-1 or injured 1-2. So, in terms of mind games, I'm falling a little short here. But
I smell blood on the wind.
oh, yep, that's another piercing javelin target. Trying to think if I want to ping him with the douche. Oh, I can't do that and javelin. So, oh, maybe I'll. No, let's not scale him.
Speak, citizen.
All right, and we're out of hard removal. We have an Earthbone for to take away some drain and stuff, but nah. I mean, I think we run three javelins in the deck, but we don't have it. Uh-oh. What's it got? What's it got? Squish? No? Okay. Alright, so I'm thinking Skaven.
Let's heat things up.
Makes our Horker a little bit bigger. Let's see. 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Not enough. Let's keep that in our hand here. I'm thinking if I... Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
We must protect our stronghold.
Ita Ori.
Horker can actually... Well, he can't get a whole lot bigger, but... Actually, kidding. Nope. I used the douche already, so... I was going to say, if I ping the Horker and then put a Steel Scimitar on him, it makes him like a 6-3 or a 7-3 or something.
Try something. You won't.
Razzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle. Razum wearing a necklace. What a jerk face.
Khajiit doesn't need to be followed.
But we have 10, we need 6. We do not have 6, and he's going to squish the giant. So, once again, opponent showing that they are capable of having all the answers.
I'll kill you where you stand.
Easy as hunting a red skin.
And that's kind of the trend that's been souring me on the game a little, is just the right cards at the right time. Sure. Bring back Razum. No? Okay.
Blood and faith.
I think we'll hold off on that for now. Well, no, wait. Do we have lethal next turn? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. We lose him. Yeah, we're not gonna... I wish it would stop doing that. Gosh, of all the hardships I'm having to endure, now I have a mouse that...
I smell blood on the wind.
Squish? No, that's too early.
You cannot.
Are they out of answers? It looks like that may be the case.
You have met your end.
Oh, crap. Alright, we got it. Alright. So we stole one. We stole one. And we are queued into Kfluffy.npo-Friends once again. To be fair, I did actually try two of the folks because I want to mix things up as much as possible. And both of them said they were battling in a match, but when I clicked on it, it said the match is over. So I'm a little confused as to what's going on. But I think we queued into a good one here. We've got Kfluffy now at rank 6 after that Invade game up against Radical. For some reason I want to say Arizona when I see AZZ, but it's not. It's Azura, rank 38, and is running just what looks to be a kind of a hard-nosed aggro archer deck. But Giggles is on the field, and she is a force to be reckoned with.
I will be triumphant.
I will taste blood.
Prepare yourself.
Kfluffy with some good answers here. It would seem. Giggles is going to die.
Of my steel.
Although it does set the dragon up to perish at the hands of... Oh no! Well, doesn't get rid of her removal. It does obviously make for a cancel out trade with no drain.
By the fires of oblivion.
And that unstoppable rage, unfortunately, could come in handy, but right now, kind of clogging up the works here.
They missed their shot.
Ooh, great prophecy right there. That, just right that alone could have been enough. Could be enough to switch things out. Kfluffy does not have an answer for her currently, and will not be able to answer that. So Radical will get
protect our stronghold.
some value out of her. But I think at this point, going into turn 7, Kfluffy above 20, I think things are looking good for him.
Try something. You
Razzle-a-dazzle, that's a heck of a top deck there. Charge and... Ooh, does not want Radical to get that reach, but I was gonna say that there are worse things that Razum could get, but or better things I guess he could get in theory, but probably not too much better. That's really the ideal situation. So unfortunately, that Reclaimer is going to allow Razum would allow Razum to trade with the Hive Defender. So he needs the Fork Bolt against the Gambler.
Well, let's see if we can find something useful.
And he's letting... Well, of course, he had to let Razum sick. He didn't have an answer for it. But
Hunting a red skeever in the snow. At the ready.
You can trust me.
This one won.
all right, it looks like Kfluffy is going to take this with a Unstoppable Rage, or Rage of the Unstoppable Persuasion. He might save it. He might save it. I'm a little... Oh, nope, he will not. He will go for it.
Ranks, let nothing through.
And that's... Okay.
I will spill your blood.
Radical playing it smart there, not beefing up a card in that lane. Perhaps smelling the Unstoppable Rage. Ooh, another great... Will it go face or will he eliminate the Fortune? Probably the Fortune. Oh! Oh yeah, go Kfluffy! Turn on the aggression.
This one will shred your heart.
Let's heat things up.
Alright, it is gonna be close. It's 2, 5, 6. He is one short No, wait, Steel Sword is 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, am I wrong? I could be wrong. He needs 4. Oh, he is 1 short. No! No, 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 no! Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, he can put the Hive Defender down and the Ward Crafter in that lane, but he knows Sentinel.
Careful there, friend.
He knows the Sentinel Reclaimers can give.
I'll kill you where you
Oh, does he have a silence? Looks like he has a silence. I mean, Reclaimer would have given him
Well, let's see if we can find
just
something
enough.
useful.
Just enough.
This one will shred your
And we're seeing the good old BM that
This one will shred your hide.
you're embarrassing yourself, man. You're embarrassing yourself. We are going to be watching Boetthiah. Boetthiah? I think I said that right. Boetthiah? Yeah. Boetthiah. Great name. Great name. When you have that combination like this, like, wait, am I missing a letter? Is it Boet?
Bright moons light your path.
Boetthiah. I don't think we've spectated Boetthiah before, so this will be fun. Boetthiah in a lady, so in a good place, has already made that the necessary push to make sure they won't fall back into rank 9.
His shall heal you.
So that's always a good thing to do, and especially when the season's coming to a close like this, you want to be able to have that kind of as a minimal thing. And who knows? Maybe making a push for lethal in the next 3 days. Not lethal, legendary. It can happen. It has happened.
It is too late.
Brave, I'm looking at you. Going from rank 3 to legendary in like 48 hours. It's crazy. It's crazy. Boetthiah. This is interesting. Like, Nixox and kind of like, it looks like this is a Telvanni list, but obviously it's missing one of the colors. So it's a little different there, but we are seeing a little, it's not a Gabo deck, but we're seeing a little bit of Gabo influence there. So I'm curious if this has some, this deck has some nefarious. Oh, no kidding.
My axe in your skull.
Hello there.
Bark and birth.
So I just found out there's another, somebody else was, had wanted it to play me or whatever, and
Forest is more clever.
but they were playing a game, so I went ahead and, oh, so Boetthiah is, actually, a brother, Krakatau 95. They're brothers, so I'm actually watching his brother. He wanted to play a game with me, so I'll probably jump into that after this. Just a friendly game, and maybe that'll round out the day. And Frequency was just mentioning, I bemoaned the fact that this week I'd been getting wrecked. And he said, if you're not using like optimal decks, that can happen, and which I agree with, and I kind of expect. Like my Ping Me deck, I don't expect that to do well. But I was playing with Joseph's Dagoth deck, which, as he's borne witness, I am capable of misplaying with the best of them. Nice. Good to see a Nixox and a Giant Sneck working Coil in Claw, I guess. 2 really creepy critters. But let's face it, one of these guys is a crossbow-wielding, lethal. Really could use a curse for that Leaf Lurker, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it. So we may see like a House Kinsman or Murkwater Shaman come down, or Elusive Schemer. I'm just going to name off, as I am wont to do, is to name off all the cards in the deck until I find one there. But either way, hopefully he is going to be able to get a hit on the Night Talon Lord before he squishes or Unstoppable Wages. Oh. I mean, he was in a tough spot. I mean, yeah, that's unfortunate. I was going to say, I mean, ultimately he could have played them in the Shadow lane and just ran the Bandari into Night Talon Lord the next play. to get what he needed.
Too kind.
But I would have been thinking, let me try to do that. I would not have been thinking about Unstoppable Rage, and that's just it's just one of those things you learn. And I'm sure from this point on, boethiahs will always think never go across from a beefy card that runs Rage. When the deck runs Rage. So despite that, I mean, Alvirian has a goodly amount of health, but we all know how quickly that can go down. That's going to be a problem. And this deck doesn't really have hard removal.
You are no match for me, swift doves.
Murkwater Scourge. Oh man, it looks like... You say Murkwater can make sure that... Well, on the face of it, can make sure that the little lizard doesn't get any more ramp, which is kind of important because if it ramps on, well, the 8/8's on the board, was it the Vampire Lord or something? Pure Blood Elder, when that's on the board, it goes double, and you could end up with a 16/16 Pure Blood Elder with Breakthrough. So it's looking pretty dire, but right now, yeah, it's
battlefield.
It's over, unfortunately. But Boethiah, well fought. Just kind of came down to that rage on Night Talon Lord. That was kind of the backbreaker. And hopefully we'll see Alvirian just hit with that Elder, close out the game.
A fine display.
I feel alive.
Well fought, well fought. I have been challenged to a duel by Krakatow 95, and I am running my breaking point, or one step. I can't remember the name, but it's essentially the one that uses a ton of breakthrough, or hopes to use a ton of breakthrough to close out a victory.
Greetings, citizen.
So no doubt we are being spectated by. Let's see. We'll save our breakthrough for a little later. That's kind of our end game. And it'd be interesting to see what Krakatow is running here in the mage colors. We're about to find out. Okay, so possibly a Unite deck, which would be interesting.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Gonna include Minotaur in play here. It might be a bad matchup if that is in fact what he's running, just because, well, this isn't an aggro deck per se. It's a little more mid-range. You wouldn't know that looking at some of the cards I've got, but it really is about that late game rage on breakthrough. So if he's not building a board,
By all the powers of the eight.
okay. So. Looks like the right play here.
Nothing through.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
It's going to be that there. I got to watch out. Probably got a lot of nifty removal going on, so we're going to have Immolating Blast and Dong's Wrath to worry about. He's got the ring, so as soon as turn 6, I think he's when you can do it. All right. Let's see here. I mean, do we...
Honor and blood.
Yeah, I think we just...
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Let's do that next.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Do you not fear me, mortal? You should.
Yeah, this one definitely is... We're going a little fast here. Alrighty. Okay. And a firebolt would allow her to trade with the Minotaur. Does not have it looks like. Reverberating Strike, Dark Rebirth. Alright.
Do better than that to trick me.
So we don't have we do actually have reach in this deck. We've got some steel scimitars. Let's go ahead and...
You will perish in pain.
let's go ahead and Barrow
I
Stalker.
smell the stench of the living.
I mean, we kind of ended up going pretty hot and heavy. I'm not used to this, to things working out with this deck. So, Immolating Blast.
You fight well.
This was a worthy contest.
Nope. Okay. He yoinks my guy.
Thank you. The victory is yours.
Alrighty. Good game, Krakatoa. We will meet again.
And that's going to put a cap on phase 1 of today's video. Just a nice, leisurely Sunday afternoon stroll through the land of TESL to see what's what and what shenanigans are afoot. Phase 2 is going to be a series of games that are not being broadcast live. I'm not watching them for the first time here. I don't want to ever mislead you. These are games that I recorded for whatever reason, but did not actually have a commentary plan for them, or didn't do a commentary for them. And so now I'm kind of retroactively doing it. I don't remember exactly turn to turn what happened. I do remember how they turn out, but I don't remember how it actually goes. So it will be live reactions, and not entirely sure what's going to happen next. But I'm going to broadcast it I'm going to do it as if it was live, and we'll see where we get. So the first game
is the amazing Schwaaard against Mr. XNDV. Mr. Zindiv. I don't know, I feel like there should be another vowel in there somewhere. But anyway, he's a Dragon Slayer at Legendary, where we would like to be at one point. Number 683. We are in the Thief. We've been yo-yoing up and down, just to give you a little bit of context. Regardless of what deck we played. I was playing Joseph's amazing Dagoth deck, and we yo-yoed. I just can't, I'm not allowed to win back-to-back. That's just kind of a thing. So, with that in mind, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try the... this is actually the deck that you just saw me play last game. I'm only playing it because I'm trying to refine it. This is not supposed to be just like a hard-nosed, aggro Auric deck. Obviously, it can be, but the goal is to build into the mid-range of Breakthrough and use those in conjunction with Unstoppable Rage to close out games. Hasn't really gone down that way in many games at all. It usually means that we're either going to... now, I think...
Taste of my power, sniveling coward!
This is interesting because I'm actually confused already about... Because as soon as you see that card come down, what is she? Oh, it's a video. I'm clicking on it. To see the name as if I could do that. But as we saw, this is an action-oriented deck here, and I figured, you know what, if they've got another Firestorm, well, we'll just have to work with it. And there you can see my cursor is poised at the top right of the screen. If we got another Firestorm, we're just going to call it good. I pull my hand away from that, and we press on, giving our opponent some ramp there, but also getting a big ol'... And that's one of our key cards right there, the Mammoth. Stampeding Mammoth, I believe is what he's named. That's why you have all these other smaller breakthrough cards like the Orc Clan Captain or Orc Clan Chieftain or whatever. Because if the Mammoth is on the board, he's like a 5/6, I think, organically. But every time you put a breakthrough creature on the board, he gets bigger by 1. So I actually have won a game a long time ago with using that, and I think it was Rage. So it's a great little combo, and it's really good against decks like this that run a lot of guards, because if you've got beefy breakthrough, your guards are useless against them. And so we've been able to get close, obviously drawing into that Firestorm. Luckily it keeps our 8/5 alive, although he gets reduced down to a 4/3. But we do have the Wood Orc Headhunter. We can't trigger him, but him with his breakthrough would bump up that Mammoth to a 5/3. Can't remember if that's how we win or not. Or if we win. Big surprise here. So he yoinks our guard. He's going to get in the way. But again, we got that nice breakthrough on the Mammoth. We also have Stone's Throw, which will crush the much smaller opponent. And we will have the Magicka to run Stone's Throw and Wood Orc Headhunter next turn if we need to. So we can get rid of that guard and go the 5/5. We still have to get through a last prophecy, though. Always makes you a little bit nervous when you hit that second to last prophecy.
Perhaps we can help
It's really
one
nerve-wracking.
another.
And a Telvos comes down with a ward. I totally forgot that was a thing. And Vincenzo commenting on how awesome Sower Revenge looks. He is one of the few cards I thought was worth crafting in premium. A lot of times you'll see me with premium cards, particularly if they are epics. It doesn't mean I actually did it myself.
Fear me, Walter. You should.
But right here, I'm typing, telling him what I'm telling you now, that it is expensive but worth it. It gets a lot of use. I only do that. I did that also with, what's the other one that I crafted in premium? Fortunately, I mean, negation sucks, but it doesn't take the damage off the board. That's the good thing. Still 9 Magicka. I mean, well, the
I bow to your victory.
Dawn's Wrath wouldn't have helped either. So we got a nice win with the breakthrough. One step closer, I think is what I call it. Got a nice win there. So obviously I was already a little skeptical in my brain. Are we going to be able to string together 2 wins with this deck? And we will see what fate has in store for the brave warrior.
Luck to your
And that's why, like I said, it's not hard-nosed aggro. That's why we run the
of the living.
the smeller of the living, because a lot of times if we're up against an aggro deck, we would be at a disadvantage. So we're doing that in order to...
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Arguably, maybe inarguably, I should have attacked the 4/2 with her, knowing that he's going to be able to attack and get that breakthrough. So we went from... Yeah, that was a misplay, I think, personally.
Of course I'm on your side. We stand united.
We do have the ring, which is really good for us here. So we've got a really nice lane looking formidable against that scrawny little traitor there in the field lane. Got to know that even an aggro list will run guards at this particular point in time. And we burned through the ring really fast in order to get our board out, and now we have a really ugly looking choice to make. Now, I think the best play here would have been to squish the Mammoth and the 3/1. Did I do that? I can't remember if I did that. Okay. All right, so even in retrospect, I'm thinking that's the right play to make.
Wrong place.
And things aren't looking too bad. 14 to 30. 5 damage on the board against 4 with the Sower coming down next turn. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Got that nasty reach from the Cliff Racer, of course.
Do you not fear me, Walter? You should.
Sower is a nice kind of counter to that. In theory, we should have a 6/4 on the board, but no! No. Zinzar has the reach and has the other Cliff Racer in order to pivot. Arguably, that should have been Night Shadow. Maybe inarguably. I thought a breakthrough... I wanted, if they had a Javelin, I wanted that to get nuked. Not the Night Shadow. So I think I was baiting out removal. Fell the Mighty, any of that kind of stuff. Instead, we do get a Harmony. Archman.
We stand united.
And all kinds of shenanigans coming down in that Shadow lane. Still, not the worst. We don't have enough to play Night Shadow and anything else, but we have a nice board here. 6 damage on the board, or 6 health from our opponent. We've got, well, obviously the 5/5 isn't going to live.
Spirit of the sky, guide us.
Okay, that was fine. Like, okay,
Just tell me.
and that's also okay. but does get that extra magic. I remember thinking, okay, that's fine, that's the final turn, but gets the magic and a card to play. And I think this card... Nope, okay. I mean, it does allow that trade. I think the opponent is going to hold.
Kashyyyk is done for.
And we pull that one out. And this third game pitted me up against Nelson Araujo, 86 NPO. So he's in the same clan as Dano and Aros. So I knew I was going to be up against him. He's just under rank 300 legendary right now. Or excuse me, as of this game. Probably is a little bit lower than that at this point.
Luck to your house.
I figured being a part of NPO, I was not going to see Invade in Crusader. And I was not disappointed. Looks like this is going to be more of a straightforward Crusader assault. Wasn't sure if Nelson was going to trade here, especially after he took away the breakthrough, but he goes ahead and gets it out of the way. If I had kept breakthrough, I could have seen it being a necessary trade because, or a desirable trade, because it would have been 2 damage that would have got through if he attacked me versus if he let me attack him.
We stand united. No
I am ready to join the circle.
Right now, it's a pretty good back and forth. So we're coming down. Really kind of the best use of the magic. I burned through the ring really, really quick. And it's kind of as a stopgap.
I am ready to join.
Initiate not bad. That is Backbreaker. That is the ideal card right there. Allows those to go off. The douche could have came down and prevented something, but that's a turn 5. Pretty much a pivotal turn in this game. As far as I'm concerned. Doesn't mean the game is over by any stretch, but that was a huge, huge play to have the sharpshooter come down on Sower. Leaves the body on board, of course. Like I said, not a death blow, but really shifted the dynamic of what I was facing down. Instead of a couple 2-2s, now it's some 4-3s that could really do some damage.
They missed
Plotting there.
I'll whip them into shape.
5th Legion into... that was pretty much the perfect answer. The ideal answer to what I had on the board. And there we go. Suddenly, it is... I'm at 17, facing down... what is that? 8, 11, 12, with more boosts coming in that shadow lane. I believe the thought process there is Douchnik and Orclan Captain can trade into the 5th Legion. They only had 3 cards. I'm thinking they're running out of gas. Not quite. That's a devastating card to hit there. And so yeah, at this point, I really didn't see any way that I could win.
We must protect our stronghold.
I played it out, thinking, well, maybe, and then I saw really there's no way for me to do anything. And
as you can see, my cursor is going up to the concede button. Don't know why. I'll be honest with you, because granted, if they have another silence or something like that, we're dead. But on board, and we haven't seen any charge, on board, we are still alive by 2 points. And he'll have 3 cards in his hand. And if if it doesn't stick, we've got Unstoppable Rage in that shadow lane. If he played any other creatures, could have turned the table right there. For whatever reason, I saw this and I immediately got rid. I'll admit I was embarrassed. I forgot it went down this way. I remember I lost the 3rd game, or I remember conceding the 3rd game, but I thought it was more definitive. I thought he had a much bigger board. I'm looking at it and going, it would have been worth it to wait, 20 more seconds to see what he managed to play, because this could have been my deck's time to shine. This could have been seeing Unstoppable Rage do its thing, because if he makes that trade over there, like I said, plays into that shadow lane, who knows? Don't let yourself get too salty. Check yourself. I don't think anybody would concede in a situation like this, because, you know what, yeah, probably, I think most likely, Nelson wins this game in the next turn. But maybe not. Maybe not. And would it have killed me to find out? Apparently it would have. Ironically, it killed me to not find out. So we'll go ahead and see my final play of the game.
A very quick and deft concession. Not really something I'm proud of, but that's where I was. And that was my last game of that night. like I said, just kind of tilted. But let us jump to more worthwhile games here in a moment. This is a game I was just playing the Gauntlet, plowing through, trying to get my alternate art, lightning bolts, and I queued into Yukinu, and he immediately sent a message and said, "Oh my gosh, like I can't believe it. It's like on my friends list." So I realized this is a friendly game, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? If he wins, maybe we can maybe show this game, see what he's running, and show it off here." Because in this Gauntlet, as you know, it was the big Gauntlet where you can run whatever deck. So in theory, whatever deck he's running, this isn't like under any stipulations. This is something different, and this is a fresh deck. Anytime you see a little girl in a deck, really, okay, you don't see her that often. And I am running the deck that Joseph made. So it's really fast, it's really good, and it's off to a great start. But as you can see, little girl gets is going to do her thing. I had planned on shifting something over, was hoping to get something a little buffer to shift over and take care of her, but she is going to do a nice 10-point swing, take 5 off of me, give 5 back to her, and really put the game back on even footing, really. And that's all it takes. It's a great card. Obviously, there's a lot of ways it can be shut down, but once she goes off, you notice the 5/5, that's not green. That's not something she can't be. Even if you silence her, she's still a 5/5. So just a really great card if you can get her to trigger on that turn. Hand of Day got the great top deck. I mean, really, obviously that is the big threat in the deck. Unfortunately, he couldn't be played that turn. He would have been the ideal answer, but I didn't want her to be able to hit again. So I'm pretty sure I bring over the Traitor. Because I was thinking at first I could bring the Harpy over and then make her a 4, but once she gets away from the Orc clan, then she loses all that juice. And so yeah. All right, so a really timely silence there. Really allows to clear up the board, and I think get a blood magic from that. I think 1, 2. I think that was at least 3.
To oblivion
3 deaths there, and you can see. Okay, I mean it's still ahead, but way ahead on board.
I will be triumphant.
This deck has great resilience and is able to rebound very quickly, though, so certainly not out of it yet. It's a testament to the deck, not really the way I'm playing it. And the reason, one of the reasons I'm showing this is just because of how well Yukinu's deck does against me on this one. And you may be seeing some misplays. I'm not necessarily seeing them just yet, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. Especially when it comes to movement stuff, sometimes my brain doesn't work that out right. Another timely silence to get rid of a big creature threat, and here we are, 12-13. It is right down to the wire. The only creature I have on the board right now is Shackled Down, and we do have the Reach. Using that instead of going face with it, using it to trade off and take what I believe was lethal off the board. That's 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, they were 1 off of lethal, so I would have been all it would have taken is a Relentless Raider or any kind of buff card, and they would have had lethal on that one. So trying to stay alive, desperately clinging to life. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. We don't have lethal on board as of yet. And then Unkano comes down. And that is a great pull for us. Technically not a top deck, because he didn't come down next turn. But wisely choosing to trade there, knowing that I do not have lethal on the board as it is now. And had that been a guard, may have been different. Seeing the writing on the wall, but really it was 1 card only. Well, I guess a lightning bolt would have done it as well.
I am ready to join the circle.
There's a lot of reach in this deck, though, and so we were able to close it out there. But like I said, I wanted to show that to you because of how close it was. And right after that, Yukinu told me he's going to switch over to a Unite, the Houses deck. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what? And I'm just chilling in bed. This is not, I'm not thinking recording, but I was like, you know what? It's a Unite. Let's see what Unite can do. It's always fun to watch. I don't think I've recorded a Unite deck on here, so I figured, hey, if lightning strikes once, great. So let's take it. Unfortunately, up against the unfortunate happenstance of Invade. Yeah, it's like naturally my first opponent is playing Invade. Has some pieces there. Obviously, the TAF Biohazard. A fitting name for someone running Invade because, I mean, as we know, it's toxic. So I can give them credit for their ability there. So just trying to see really if Yuki can hold out against the epitome of Invade, which is in the Guildsworn colors, and hold them off long enough to be able to trigger the Unite. Got the Invasion Imp guy, the 1 cost, which is great in red, and of course Dominion, the Dominion Reaver, I believe his name is, the 3 cost, 3 color. So between those two right there, all he's missing is purple. So you play those for on turn 4, or for 4 Magicka, you get a purple and Unite. That's turn 7 at minimum.
Get away!
If you have to have them all stick, but really needing to see Unite the houses, because right now we could play pretty much everything but Unite and be ready to close it out next turn. Right now, does not look like that is on the docket. Uses the Javelin. Obviously, not worried about health gain, but having a 3 power hitter in the shadow lane would be, or field lane would be, a pain in the butt to deal with.
Get away!
So we haven't really seen Invade go off yet. I mean, Yuki is kind of holding that line there, staying above 20, 8 turns in, doing a pretty darn good job of staying alive. And that's pretty much a slap in the face. You play the Night Gleam Elder, or whatever she called, in order to get that possible colored creature, and then you get a freaking neutral out of it. It's like the deadest draw you can get. I think Moonmoth, I think, is what to hold on to, because you do get to put a random card in your hand. And I don't know that... Okay, nope. Opting instead for the drain to stay alive just a bit longer. Was obviously hoping to pull Unite there. Still in the thick of things. And now that deck, the gate is starting to ramp up, and how fitting! There's actually a gatekeeper there at the gate, so really looking rough. The poor the camel, mud crab, and a pawnbroker against a ginormous gatekeeper. Not a great combo there, but Yugi is sitting on that crisis. The crisis begins, which is essentially a 6-cost javelin without. I don't think it has. Does it have prophecy? I think it does, actually. I think it does, but it is a 6-cost. But a timely bit of removal there. Gets a neutral color gate, which really doesn't help at all, just as an extra body on the board. And now the gate's taking a little bit of damage from the Mighty Merchant, and the Camel, and the Pawnbroker. A more humble concoction of heroes you will never find. Ironically, I'm not sure if Yuki would have tried to hit face there anyway, had the Harpy not come down. You know, risking a rune break at this point for 3 Magicka or for 3 health, which wasn't really necessary. Maybe, not really sure. But we're still not seeing the gate break free. What we really need is just one way to do damage, and the assassin comes down, takes away the gate. crippling Biohazard's immediate ability to steamroll, but it's certainly not over yet. Merchant Camel, again, really looking for that Unite. Probably going to pick up the Thieves Guild, I would guess. Nope, just kidding. Haha, foiled. I think Yuki's just really eyeing his health total there and not wanting to see that. Wanting to stay alive more so than pull Unite. And what are the odds, especially with the Thieves Guild recruit? You get to pull an extra card. What are the odds that one is going to be Unite versus something not as useful? So really holding out here. We're going into turn 11. Still has a nice chunk of health left. Looks like Invade is kind of just chilling, content to build up the board, contest the board, and really is just waiting for that invasion party or whatever in order to really get a chunky gate down there. If the queen sticks, it's a nice trade into the gatekeeper. Gets him back up to 25 health. Just looking for Unite. Yep. It's getting pretty close. Unfortunately, again, not breaking through, and because Unite is a combo deck, you're typically not going to, and that's something you don't want to see. That's a bit of a heartbreaker there, because virtually everything in that lane is going to trade with Bananaschwob. So she's not going to get the love. Oh, not a reflection on the game. It's on my current state of fatigue and not feeling particularly fantastic right now. All right, does manage to pull a red, so we now has a red on the board, which is great. Still no Unite. And I believe Fortress Guard is the purple as well. If you're wondering, I think you can trade him in and he spits out a purple guard in the shadow lane.
Who's there?
Or I guess in this case it would be moved over to the field lane. So really, yeah, play into his outs, going okay. He's got all the colors right now. Red, purple. I feel like I'm doing almost like a Lucky Charms commercial. Red hearts, green clovers, purple dinosaurs. I don't know exactly what, but has all this stuff there. And just really playing to that possibility of getting Unite next turn. The only danger that it really is, obviously puts down has that purple, which is the only purple he's got. And if that gets removed, even getting Unite is not going to help. Forces of Destruction, just as good, if not infinitely better than the invasion party. And the Saints, which really do not feel like they should be Daedra. I'm sorry, they just... Yeah. Yep. Yuki, I hear you. And what you wonder if Taff smelled what Yuki was cooking. Or if it was just, hey, I need to get this card out of my hand and there happens to be a 2-cost guard. Debilitate does some good work there. Thins out the board a little bit, mitigates the amount of damage he's going to take. But Unexpected Arrival isn't going to put purple on the board. And it puts the little imp on there. Execute. Could be good, but probably waiting for the gate to get a little bit bigger to make it worthwhile. Still with, it's a little bit harder now, but with Battle Reeve and Invasion Scout really just needing purple and Unite. That's really it at this point. But the life total is really creeping down pretty low, and like I said, it seems like Taff kind of got the idea of what Yuki was trying to do and is not holding back anymore. It's a nail biter to be sure, because Yuki does have all the magic needed to play it, as long as you can get a reasonable purple. The problem is your Rift and Pickpocket isn't going to pickpocket a purple, and Mythic Dawn is not going to draw purple. They're both going to draw red. But yeah, the board is too big, and of course, Invade's going to invade. And it looks like that is going to be the end of it. You could take out the gate, but at this point, there's too much damage on the board. And yeah. I mean, Execute's great to have in general against Invade, but in this particular deck, or particular game,
Prophecies are but words. I judge by deeds.
gets rid of his entire hand, 5 cards, gets fresh 3, and there, right off the top, is the Unite, and a Fortress card. So, pretty much one more turn. We're rejoining Yuki for another attempt at Unite Glory, and we will see what fate has in store on this game. Obviously, not up against Invade this time, which is a welcome sign, but against Johnny Bai, Ebon Pact, Gorilla, which against most decks would be a dangerous thing, but really that's kind of the best, because Ebonheart is usually a control. You know, it goes for that end game, and so it's going to be a little bit slower than even Invade was in theory, hoping it's going to be a little bit slower. Get some good mileage out of the Fighters Guild recruit, but really no big loss there. I don't think Yuki's crying about it. Has Unite in hand this time, so which is great. And also a Tree Minder, and I do apologize. I'm guessing he used one of his pickpockets. Oh yeah, he used the, you might have missed it. He used the, oh gosh, she's sitting right on the board. My gosh, my brain, folks. I'm so sorry. You see it right there, yeah. So he pickpocketed, was lucky enough to nab a Tree Minder. So he's got purple, and is now just looking to get the red, which Unexpected Arrival has a pretty good chance of producing.
Feel the power within you.
Although really no willpower cards in hand right now. But that Wabbajack on the board is great. It does give the potential to transform them into something a little more useful. And Yuki just saying there, yeah, it's really not, it's pretty good to be up against a control deck like this, but as we saw, I think, yeah, in the earlier game today, this deck running the Unstoppable Rage has many ways to win once its Magicka gets relatively high in one turn. Obviously, any deck can win when their Magicka gets high, but the OTKs, the options for OTKs are plentiful. And particularly the big thing that Yuki would have to worry about is getting raged in a lane where he's trying to build towards that Unite if he can't play it all at one time. Congratulating there on a nice pull with the Scuttler. That really is a good one. Because now he has what seems to be all of them, but as you probably any astute viewer will notice, he does not have willpower. Even though that is one of the colors innate in his deck, he does not have anything in his hand or on the board. So, yep, and there he is pointing it out as well, something that I overlooked. I just got excited seeing the 2 colors that he doesn't organically run in hand. But you just kind of assume, you kind of take it for granted that, oh, he'll be able to pull those willpowers when he needs them. And here we are out of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? 5? Yeah, 10 cards. None of them are yellow. So it's definitely not a foregone conclusion. And does he have the Magicka? He could play 6, 7.
They dare face the Blade Mistress of Valenwood?
if you could just keep a green on the board. But it also looks like Johnny Biden understands what Yuki is doing as well. I mean, maybe the Wabbajack gives it away every time. Hey, there we go. Now we got the gold, and if he hadn't killed the green, let's see, Queen and Scuttler. That's 5, 8, 11. One magic off. Oh wait, no. So green, blue, yellow.
I do not fear.
Purple, red. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think Yuki had. I think he had it there. I might have miscalculated or miscounted. But he's got green, blue, yellow, red, and purple. And the red and purple 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think he had lethal last turn. I think he had Unite last turn. Y'all can correct me if need be. I you know me. I never assume that I see something other people don't, because that just doesn't seem like something I would do. But he does have it this turn. So regardless of whether he had it last turn, fortunately his 5th Legion trainer stays on the board.
Well fought.
It has been my honor. You have my thanks.
Back into it now. Unite. I was curious, could we see back-to-back Unite? It's not a common thing, but Yuki kind of made it look easy last game. So I thought, you know what? Let's just see if he can pull it off again. What are the odds pulling off back-to-back Unites in a Gauntlet deck? Gauntlet like this, it's hyper-competitive. Everybody's playing the best thing they got. In theory, I know some folks would still, they're just going to play whatever, but in theory, you're bringing the best thing you've got to the table, and you're stacking it up against everybody else. Kind of like a hyper ladder experience. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think in the Gauntlet it gives you access to every card. So even if you have never been able to play that deck before, I think you can play it in the Gauntlet because it does unlock all the cards just for the tournament. Or for the Gauntlet. So yeah, so it's really just kind of all your wildest dreams can come true. And you can play any deck. And Yuki asking if you can go back to back. Could be, some people may consider that bad luck. We'll see how well that does. It would really stink to get that close and come up short, but we'll see. Okay, but we're doing good here. We've got Moonmoth. We've got Cliff Hunter. We've got a nice ruby red card and Unite. And Moonmoth comes down. Could it pull a purple? It does not. It pulls a blue. So one of the 3 colors that you did not want to see it pull down, but that's right, there's time left. Although Klon 6494 looks like they're running a more or less aggressive Gabo deck. Not sure if it's the sheer point variety that uses a lot of removals in conjunction with the Gabo's formidable firepower. Yuki bemoaning the fact that he gave them probably one of the better cards for Gabos in weakness. I believe weakness. Well, weakness doesn't. I don't think it affects your health. I think it takes. It goes after your attack power. But compared with the Bloody Hand Chef, I think would definitely boost his power up quite a bit if we see that come down here. So definitely not an ideal card to give, but there are worse mud crab situations to be sure. That little merchant is a shifty little turd and can really hose you over. As it is now, the 5/4 guard, even though it's in the wrong color, it's great here. It is allowed, is really preventing that 4/4 from doing any more damage from that lane. Can't silence it because then it becomes active and it can attack. You know, he'll still take 4 points of damage, but it'll be able to clean up next turn. So got Unite. So looking for purple. All right, Dominion Battle Reef, great pickup there. They're still looking for purple though. That's kind of the thing. And honestly, Cliff Hunter, I mean, it's good. It's good to have a red, but that's an expensive red. That's a card you probably need to play in advance. Unfortunately, put it out there, risk it getting destroyed. Ice Storm is going to buy Yuki some more time. Always a valuable commodity against the diabolical Gabo decks. And they are closing in now. Yuki at 15 health, facing, well, was facing 11 on the board, but did not give me the time to hype it up. You probably already saw the Ice Storm in hand and knew that was not going to be a problem, but for the moment, I forgot that it was there and was like, oh my gosh, it's getting close. But he's able to hold them off. That's pretty much, you know, Gabo Kryptonite, and Orc Kryptonite, to be fair. There are very few Orcs that would survive an Ice Storm like that as well. Yuki politely requesting for purple Endurance. Blackhand Messenger, not what he's looking for exactly, but it's going to help him stay alive against some more Gabo spawns. Zena wouldn't even call it precarious. He's definitely not in a great spot at 15, but against Gabos on turn 8, 15, empty board, not too bad. Those Ice Storms really did good work, knowing you've got some Drain in Black Hand and an ability to remove right off the jump. And if you combine that with Ebon Thread, you know, he can actually attack. But I think now we're still looking for purple. We're still looking for purple. So Ebon Thread is a much more viable play than Cliff Hunter. And there's our purple. And I think that's why I put that card in there. It's brilliant. I think it automatically always summons a skeleton and just assigns a value to it. So a brilliant inclusion there with that fellow, I can't remember his name, and I can't click on him to find out the name. He can't bail me out, but he's got purple, so it really is looking good. I think he can do it this turn. Unite, Dominion. Well, he doesn't even need Dominion Battle Reaver because he's got blue and he's got those three on there. So there you go, pushing it down to the wire, but we know he's got Dominion, Ebon Thread, and Unite.
It has been my honor.
Have you ever stopped to marvel at its beauty, Mr. Anderson? Back-to-back Unites.
Wrong place for a midnight
Into
stroll.
Game 3 against Gilgamesh 1015. I was just curious. We just got to see back-to-back Unite. Possible trifecta, the triple crown of Unite. Could it happen? Sometimes you have to be willing to accept defeat with grace. Sometimes you have to accept victory with grace. And try to stay humble, try to stay grounded, because you just never know
Wrong place for a midnight
what the game's going to do for you. Clearly up against an aggro warrior. Rarely are there other kinds. We did see, I mean, as Yukinu knows very well himself, you know, he ran the Doomcrag warrior, which is a little bit of a slower build. It would be probably a mid-range, considered to be a mid-range, if not control, depending on how he built it out. But this does not look like the deck that he was running. This is definitely a much more aggressive approach. And is already down 7 health on turn 5. Could just be rushed down here. Would not be an uncommon story. Unfortunately, Fighters Guild feels bad here. Because especially if there's a way to boost up the 1/1 Stormcloak Vanguard, I think that's his name. Throw the Scimitar on there, and the 3/3 still survives and it makes the hit. But even if the 3/3 does trade, that means the Stormcloak gets that buff and still gets to hit for 4. And Yukinu pointing out that Unexpected Arrival has a potential for... It's like a 50% chance of spawning red. I'm not sure if the math breaks down exactly like that, but it's going to be red or blue.
Close ranks, let nothing through.
Or could it be yellow? Huh. But as you said, it's the only reason to play Invade. I mean, that's using the mechanic of Invade, but you can hardly call it an Invade deck. Invade has nothing to do with the success of the deck. It is purely Unite or bust.
Orders.
Or is it? Is there a way to win with a Unite deck inadvertently without even trying to win? Or not, just having the right cards on the board and saying, you know what, we're not going to unite the houses. We're not going to unite our houses. We're going to destroy yours. That's always a possibility.
This is interesting.
But really, 3 Unite back-to-backs on a gauntlet like this.
Do not fear me, mortal.
I think it was tempting fate a little bit, pushing fate just a little bit. But still a lot of fun to watch nonetheless. And, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm really not good with this whole speaking to you from the future thing. One magic off. So he's got Unite, he's got Dominion, he's got Purple. Where's the red? Or am I not seeing the red? Oh, an Unexpected Arrival could pull the red. He needs 9, though, in order to play all 3. Can't do it. Which is okay, because I don't think he can be killed next turn. It's hard, though, because you lose your purple then. Best case, if Sower had managed to... He would have had to silence the 2/2, the guard. Yeah. Arguably didn't need to do that. If he could have just shackled the Sower to keep him from destroying the Clovian Trooper, leaving that purple on the board. Provided he was able to trigger red with Unexpected Arrival. Could have closed it out this turn. But that's really taking a gamble and taking a lot of damage. So I think this was the wiser of the 2 plays. Gonna go ahead and preemptively just take that damage, 5 to the face. Has another purple in Bleak Coast, so that is good. It really looks like it's going to come down to whether or not Unexpected Arrival pulls off red. And 100% honest, I can't remember if it does or not. Oh, that one does. There we go. He's got it in hand if he can just survive, which I think he will. I don't know that Gilgamesh can do.
We obey.
10 points, but it looks like he might have it. Oh, Orc hit 100, but there is no other Orc on the board. He's going to be stuck. And it triggers the second one. But for want of one more Orc.
It has been my honor.
All the way down to 1. Somebody unite that. All 3 unite the houses. So in the trifecta game, 3 unites.
It has been my honor.
Triggers the purple. And we are united for the 3rd time in the tournament. I'm going to keep that screen up there because it is beautiful to see unite like that. So well done to Yukinu doing something I don't know that has ever happened before, which is getting that unite done in a gauntlet 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
That'll close up the video for today. Hopefully you got a little inspiration out of there. You saw a little bit of some of the pain that I was going through, some self-inflicted pain of me cutting a game short when I very well could have won it. There's just no excuse for that. When I saw that the second time, I was like, really? That's what I conceded on? Like I said, I think we would have lost anyway. I do, but maybe not. And that's just not a great habit to be in. So a little shame on me. But then as we saw, not only for me, but for other players, you just, getting a bad rub from Invade and some other more meta decks. But that is the state of things. So happy Monday, starting the new week with a little TESL video. And until next time, keep playing.